Good afternoon, good people of the internet. So, today we're going to be continuing Hytale. This is kind of to make up for yesterday, which would be Throwback Thursday, I believe. Yes. The reason I'm not doing a throwback is some issues with the Nintendo Switch right now. Excuse me. Um, so we are using a different streaming software. Um, as you can notice, the eyebrows are actually properly expressive. So we are using a different streaming software. Well, streaming is not the right word. We're using a different VTuber software that has properly expressive eyebrows and does a better job at tracking my mouth movements. As long as the lighting is agreeable. Um, I'm kind of doing the fine tuning. There we go. That's a little better.
So now it can show when you're not agreeable.
Yeah, it can. Actually, it does quite well. No more having to rely on hotkeys for putting out my expressions when I can just, smile.
What's wrong?
Or when, you know, something perturbs me. I can actually show that I'm perturbed. Like me getting poisoned just now. Not gonna discuss a whole bunch of recent events. Just no interest at this point. Like, it's already been covered, and my input is not needed. But as a technical advice to Microsoft, what you could consider doing is one of two options. Re-release 11, but call it 11 Lite, and basically strip out all the stupid stuff that people don't want, right? Or go back in time, grab Windows 7, encode the modern security, you know, the stuff to make it safe for modern times, and give us that, and call it Windows 11 Lite. I mean, that's definitely an option. The idea here is that we really don't mind. We really don't mind so much that Windows 11 exists. We just want an alternative, which you're not giving us. And even Windows 10 isn't really much of an alternative because it's already past end of life. And it's about to hit, probably within the next year or two, end of third-party support. So what we really want is something that's going to see continuous security updates, but maybe not so feature-heavy. If you can call Windows Recall a feature, I call it, you know, built-in spyware, but I digress. Because people just, like, in general, want something they can operate their computer on that's not constantly being monitored by a company or government. Constantly. And it's not so much that we have something to hide. The thing that you have to realize is that all of those surveillance softwares, yeah, they dig into performance, like, pretty heavily. And that's kind of more the issue. And, I mean, especially in the United States, like, we want our privacy. It's in our Constitution. It's something that we expect from companies that like to say their stuff is made in America, you know, and stuff like that. But there's nothing wrong with cornering a worldwide market. Just make sure that, you know, you're covering your entire customer base. Don't alienate the performance users, or maybe people who want less bloatware, as we call it, because Windows Recall is exactly that. It's bloatware. The performance use for that would be better served for anything else, and I do mean anything. And also, not everyone enjoys the fact that, you know, you're basically giving the government the opportunity to do a colonoscopy on us every friggin' time we turn on our computer. Why are you running from me? That's weird. Hi. And I mean, you guys aren't trying to kill me, so... A very easy task to do, considering I don't have any armor, which I just realized. It's just kind of an idea. Maybe people don't like AI being shoved down their throats. Maybe some of us just want a machine and an operating system that we can manually operate ourselves. because I know a lot of friends and family and gamers that rely on PC rigs for both like household entertainment or personal entertainment or even work purposes. They really don't like the idea of Windows Recall. Another thing, Windows Recall, where could it be useful? Not on your computer as a whole, but maybe as an autosave function on something like Microsoft Word or the Office 360 suites. That would be where it would be useful, right? And I have a feeling that very few people, if it was just an optional thing that you could have off or on based off of your own personal preferences, very few people would have issue with that. There, it would be considered a feature. Most anything else,
That probably very few people would use.
yeah, but it would be considered a feature because it'd be optional. Whereas shoving it into an operating system as a whole for the whole computer is just a mass invasion of privacy, and no one wants that. Like, you're forcing a service, what you call a service, we call a mass invasion of privacy, down everyone's throats, and it's just ridiculous. It's why you see so many people fleeing and going over to Linux. And the only reason I haven't done that myself is some of the games and software that I use don't have support for Linux. And I really just don't want to go through the process of having to create, try to create an emulator on Linux that would run BattleEye, anti-cheat, and a bunch of other shit, because it's really just not feasible, and it's annoying, and 90% of the time when you do try it, they flag your account as basically a banned account. Which I think is ridiculous, by the way. If you're gonna put a game out, you should at least offer it for all available operating systems currently. Maybe not backdated to like Windows 7, although I wish you would. That would be great, because then I'd just stick with Windows 7 and just either work on manufacturing security updates at home, or crowdsource with my friends and see if we could come up with better security mechanisms, like taking the some of the programs for Windows Firewall and antivirus that came with 11 and 10 and dropping them off in Windows 7 somehow. That would be reasonable. It would also create what I would call a very lightweight operating system that just about everyone would be amenable to. So, and I really don't like the fact that we are forced to upgrade all the time. Like, not everyone wants the next new operating system. And I do believe that Microsoft has presented an environment where we need to have a discussion as to who it's incumbent on to do these upgrades, whether it's incumbent on us to do these upgrades or the developers of these softwares to have legacy support for older operating systems that may be modified. To operate in a more modern context. Personally, as someone who's not a developer, I would argue from my own perspective that it should be the developers that should be providing legacy support. From a developer perspective, I would argue the other way. From a kind of more balanced perspective, there should be a pretty even scale balance there. it should also be incumbent on the operating system to be more open to running newer applications, even if it is an older operating system. Like, alright, ideally, if I were to make an operating system, I would make one like Linux that was kind of like a universal operating system. If you wanted to run Mac, Windows, whatever on it, you could natively without emulators or issues. Yeah, I'd create licensing hell, I'm sure, but I'm a consumer. I don't give a shit. I just want a fast, lightweight operating system that can run my stuff without taxing my performance, right? Like, I want to be able to play Destiny 2, Hytale, Minecraft, maybe at some point some of the older Call of Duty games just for shits and giggles, not on multiplayer, obviously, but like, you know, zombies and campaign or whatever without being taxed, having my system be taxed to the tune of like 20% of my machine's operating capacity just for a bloated out operating system. And it's not going to let me do it because this is a game capture window, I believe. I don't think it's a... No, it's not a display capture. Okay. Like... Here. Like, a lot of this stuff. Like, Microsoft Edge WebView. I don't use Microsoft Edge. I've made it a point to disable Microsoft Edge, and it keeps re-enabling itself. I use Firefox. I'm more partial to open source software like that. Especially when it has really good ad block and even better, like, built-in firewalls and stuff. Yes, I pay a little bit of a system tax on it, but it's for the added security. And also, screw your advertisements. Like, but the big thing to remember is that not everyone out there wants something recording everything that it does. I know someone's gonna smart off and say you don't like being recorded because you're recording yourself right now, and I'm like, yeah, but that's different. That's something I can physically shut off at any moment. You know, I could shut it off right now if I felt like it. Whereas stuff like Windows Recall and the pervasive, like, constant federal access to the backdoors of the Windows 11 operating system that are actually actively causing performance issues, crashes, etc., that you can't shut off, by the way, because every time you do, they go right back in and re-enable it. That's just wrong to me. So... And that's without getting into the whole Epstein-Bill Gates connection. That's before we even get to that point. Like, I understand that he's your founder. You're not technically responsible for anything that he does in his spare time, especially now that he's basically just getting paid for founding the company at this point. He doesn't have any real decisive pull. I understand that, but at the same time, it really makes consumers worried when something that goes against their ethics and morals is currently a question being raised about the company that they get the software from. So, just a small thought. Now, I'm not going to say one way or the other whether Bill Gates did something on the island or not. That's I'm not having that conversation today. There's a whole lot of yes he did, and there's a whole lot of no he didn't. So I'm not really in the mood to deal with that. What I am going to say is that it's a bad look for any company to be linked, even by like rumor or innuendo, to that particular piece of current event that I'm refusing to talk about. Not because I have a stake in the matter, just so sick of seeing it everywhere. Like, when I get on Facebook, I want to go look at cat recipes, not someone, or sorry, cat videos and good recipes for food. I don't want to see who did what on what island all the fucking time. So. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that it's perfectly normal to not want to be saturated by evil all the fucking time, even if I'm not implicitly a part of that evil. Because when you spend so much time surrounded by that kind of darkness, eventually the negativity starts to seep in again, and it can really, really fuck with your mindset. So. I think it's important to take a detox period and not be involved with these things. Like, even from an observational standpoint. Oh, balls. Yep. But again, that's just my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Maybe I'm off base, but I do feel like 3 million pages of documents that are nothing but just like some of the most heinous shit imaginable is a bit much for anyone to have to deal with daily. Well, that was an accident. And it gets even worse when you're just like, you don't even want to look at that stuff. You just want to go watch crazy cat videos and look up maybe apple pie recipes or something. Man, apple pie actually sounds pretty good. But ooh, okay. 2. We know you really need to start as 2. That would be a brown bear. We're gonna avoid that. For now. Should probably take what I got and just go back to the base at this point. Well, in a moment. Excuse me. see some strange camera activity here. Excuse me, and not that kind of strange either. See bastards. No. What I actually mean is I'm trying to calibrate the setup for because right now, like, my hands are about level with my midsection, but according to the camera, well, you know, it's way out of left field here. So, here's what I'm going to do to try to remedy that. We're going to try to make an arm to hold that camera at the correct positioning. Hopefully it'll work. So, kind of bear with me for a moment. I want to try to make something work that probably shouldn't be attempted. There we go. And that should be sharp enough to deal with some bad zip tie placement. Help. You know what? Maybe sharpness is not the right metric here. There we go. squeeze and stay in place. No. Okay, that's still too high. Calibrate. That should. It doesn't do well. The hand tracking on the software kind of sucks. But it could lend to a better read overall. Better camera angle, which could lead to better tracking on, hopefully, the rest of my face, which is probably just about right there. So next two upgrades to the work setup. Keys in, an Azeron keys in, and a better chair. Better chair means longer stream times because here in probably about, how long have we been at this? An hour and 15 minutes. By the fact that my back is the way that it is, I'm gonna have to get up and walk around. This chair sucks. So, one thing at a time. Alright, why are you reading something as my hand? You shouldn't even be able to see my hands until I get them up to here. Which is another thing. That feels a little bit too high. Okay. The camera angle is... I'm going to have to recalibrate the camera angle for the software. I have a temptation to do that right now, but... I'd like to know what's reading as an arm going up like that. Okay. That is clearly not my chin. Okay. Different plan of action. going to hide my VTuber model for a minute so I can fart around with it without giving you guys like full blown friggin' seizure territory. Okay. Where in here? Let's see. Because your reading this is way too high on the hand tracking. That didn't help anything. See. Huh. Mm. All right. I'm gonna have to mute this person. Extra camera controls. Okay, so I'm looking for the camera look at setting. So basically, what I need to do is tell the software that the camera is not located where it thinks it does, where it thinks it is. Hmm. Nope. Because my hands are up by my shoulders, and my hands on the model are up above my head. It's mostly the hand tracking that's too high. So, what I might be able to do actually is find the one for the tracking effects. That's arm sway, breathing motion. I don't want expressive body tilt. Let's see. If we change the tilt range, what does that do? Not much, apparently. Okay. Let's see. Nod range. No. Doesn't do squat. Huh. Okay. Oh. That makes your character T-pose. That's funny. I'm not really looking to do a T-pose for my character. I'm actually looking to Is there an actual calibration for hand tracking or not? Hmm. Okay, that's great for the face, but doesn't really help with... You know what? There's a pretty simple fix for this, actually. Just shut off the arm, you know, the arm stuff, and superimpose on the face a little bit, and reset the camera to a comfortable place, reactivate the capture. And yeah. Besides, what I'm doing with my hands really isn't so important. I'm controlling an in-game character using a Razer Tartarus and a friggin' Logitech G502 Lightspeed. So. Bucket. Ew. Oh. We need to actually make a watering hole here for my canteen or my own. Yeah, because it's totally a canteen, dude. Watering bucket for the garden. And there's a closer water source too. Cool. Well, that makes this easy then. not where I'm going. Those are food items, but push that off there. I just need to grow the 5 cabbages and I can upgrade and start using the eternal seeds for a few things. It'll also make it so I can get this. Okay, and while you're growing, we're going back into the mines. Or are we? Hang on. Yep. Yes, we are. So, but yeah, I wanted the hand tracking and stuff because sometimes I like to talk with my hands. And occasionally flipping off, giving someone the finger who deserves it is optional. Oh, skeletonite, huh? Where at? Oh, you punk. Deal with you one threat at a time, then. Okay. Drag me down here. So now we get to make the first official stairway into hell. Or, well, this game's equivalent to hell. And it can be. It can be pretty rough down here, actually. In fact, these guys. Oh, and the toads are pretty bad too. Yes, I know the song, the Toad song from Family Guy, did kind of enter into my head. Not dealing with your crap. You okay, baby? You hurted. Sorry. a snail. Like the least threatening thing down here. 157. Yep. Okay. And now we get to try to remember how to get out of here. Huh. Maybe. Okay. Well, we'll take the iron that we got and go up topside and see what we can do with it. Oh, I need copper too, actually. Well, the idea here is I'm going to go get a buttload of cobalt from the mountains. A little too far down there, dude. I need copper. So, actually there is a sort of current event I can touch on. Weather. Hopefully everyone stays home in the northeastern part of the United States. Things are kind of getting to be a little hairy. And I don't mean that as in, like, severely threatening. As far as I can tell, my region is only getting, like, 3 to 6 inches. I know, hee hee, haha. Definitely a, you versus the guys you told you not to worry about situation on that, on, like, size-wise. But, it's still snow. It can make roads slick and miserable. If you don't have to be out in it, don't be out in it. You know, the usual warnings. Is it the storm of the century? No, far from it. Is it nasty white powder that's going to somewhat impede travel, and if it sticks to things could potentially cause power outages? Maybe. It's really skimpy on the copper this time. Squeaky wheel, meat grease. Seriously. Not complaining. Bat. Batman. I don't even remember how much copper I actually need to make this work. So we're just grabbing any that we can see. Preferably without... That's one of my torches. Cool. think. That we are done here. Because I do believe that should be enough copper to do the job too. Itchy ear. Hey, Luna James, how's it going? Things are going alright. Okay, how are we on the goods? It's going pretty good. Pretty good. Well, a lot of the Nintendo Switch's emulator library, so like NES, SNES, Game Boy Advance, GameCube to a lesser degree because there's only like 6 titles on there. N64 titles are fun. Minecraft, Destiny 2, occasionally Path of Exile. It's just kind of a random grab bag. As soon as I can figure out how to do more outdoorsy content, I did intend on doing something with that too, because, let's face it, a guy sitting here playing video games would probably be less entertaining than, like woodworking, or maybe how-to for cars, or some sort of outdoorsy adventure thing. Maybe even a hybrid. A hybrid channel would be pretty cool, I think. Like, here's the Minecraft equivalent, here's the real world equivalent. Cozy games, Stardew Valley. Give me a second to think here. I think you can kind of call Core Keeper a cozy. I'm not sure. It's definitely an ARPG though. Well, I mean, there is a combat portion to Stardew too, I guess, so. Terraria, Minecraft, if you could classify those as cozy, maybe. Oh, are these about ready? Yes. Okay. Yeah, they're fun. They're a good way to chillax. Not every game we play on here, in my opinion anyway, not every game needs to be a constant, like, Apex Legends grudge match or something like that. I'll give you the general region of the United States. New England. Yeah, we're about to get slapped around by some interesting, like, 3 to 6 inches of snow that I was kind of hoping not to see, to be honest, but the way I understand it, our water tables here in New England have needed the help, so, you know, guess we'll just kind of take what we can get. So. I do try to, the catch there being that I'm also responsible for taking care of another human being, so that has to come first. But I do definitely try to squeeze in streaming where I can. Streaming, geez, I'd have to actually go look at when I started, but I want to say about a year now. Content creation, oh, thank you. Content creation, however, has been a little bit longer. I would caution about some of my older content, though. It's very, very clunky. There's no VTuber model. It was when I was trying out the live cam thing. Just one of my family members made a point that I had a face for radio. So I kind of told him right where to go with that one, and then thought about it and figured VTubing would be probably a little bit better. I have no intention of being secretive about how I look. Really, to be honest, haven't gotten around to implementing it at this point. It's one of those things where, like I said about the streaming, how it's reliant on my time. The logos and banners that I've come up with, they're effective, but they're just not me. So I'm trying to make the spare time to sit down with some graphic software and do my own. Overlays, I'm kind of hesitant on overlays. I don't know why, but I just kind of feel like they're a distraction. But banners and logos, definitely, yes. I've been looking into actually sitting down and dealing with that at some point. It just, family first, you know? Yeah, and you're not the only artist who's gotten into my chat and subscribed to me, actually, and I do appreciate all you guys taking the time, but, like, this is more of a... I like to handle my own stuff kind of thing. Not to be too crass, it's kind of like using the restroom. I like to handle my own business. Actually, the VTuber model is something that I actually took the time to build in VRoid myself. It's not complete. There's some stuff that the hat. It's mostly the hat. I will say it's the friggin' hat. Like, it looks like a cowboy hat on the model, which is fine. It's what I was going for. there's not enough on the hat. I'm thinking about putting a skull on the hat or something to make it kind of pop a little more because it's a very plain hat. Okay. Now, this should unlock the Eternal Seeds. Okay. We'll start with wheat. And I'm out of essence. Well, that starts the wheat farm. Actually, here probably in about an hour or two, I'm gonna have to get off and go do dinner for everybody. Sloppy Joes and nachos tonight. Okay, drop it in the chat and I'll bookmark it somewhere and give you a holler if I ever get to that point. Oh, actually, there is something that I was having an issue with earlier, but it's more about the VTubing software than anything else. I was trying to figure out how to tell the software where my camera is located. Oh, you too. And hopefully, well wishes and good times find you as well. I need a new chair. I need a better sea table on one side. I don't have a Discord. I usually use this. Actually, I stopped using Discord after their. That's not true. I don't use Discord in general, and my disliking for Discord got worse with the whole ID fiasco. So I don't use it. I do, but I don't remember what it was. I think it might be linked to my Facebook, so I might still have access to it. That's one of those I'm very unprepared to answer that question moments. But I know I have one somewhere. It just kind of fell by the wayside because no one on there, you know, like, why use a thing that no one else appeared to be using in my circle, so. Drop your Instagram here and I will take a look at what you got. I can at least do you that much of a courtesy. Oh, got hot in this house. I feel like cold sweat's hot. No, like I drank too much caffeine hot, which is exactly what I did. Do a better job at organizing this stuff later. Okay, how much more until I got that? Huh. I'm gonna take a little time out here for a minute. Something just occurred to me. Excuse me. In order for it to work, I'll do it off stream. No, I'll just do it off stream. It just makes more sense. Because then I can get into the technical aspects of things and not have to worry about wasting everyone's time. Excuse me. Okay, now I can go get a cobalt. Enough stuff to get a cobalt pickaxe. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. I have to go take out some outlanders. Is this a world that I dug a pit for? No, it is not. There's more copper down here. Oh, looks like as many resources as we can. And we'll just do this later. Oh. Won't be bothering me again. Go turn in some, Actually, what I should do to prevent people from having to ask those kind of questions is I should hunt down all my URLs and stuff and tack them in a banner. That same pickup truck has been going back and forth by our house for the last like half hour. I'm not saying I'm paranoid, I'm saying it's annoying. So it's literally just the essence that's the problem. You know, smoky over there. I have no need of them right now. I mean, I do, but it's not really what I'm working on. Usually travel in packs of 2 or 3, sometimes more. Let's munch on some food. Man, this game must have been Shadow Mech's like biggest dream ever. Berry bushes that don't do damage. Man, they got some pretty good recipes for sale. I gotta get some goods together and start making this happen, because sorry guys. Need the stuff. They're definitely not gonna make it easy on me, are they? Well, oh, it's raining. I wish that's what it would do tonight. Instead of snow, it's just pour the rain down and wash it all away. Yeah, they get more expensive as you go down. That's for sure. Oh, I need to find the desert. Most of the time I've done that, it's been during the day, and it's been in the south. Okay. Maybe there's something else I can do to wait. Actually, there it is. See if there's any other food items. Hang on. Hang on. Oh. Interesting. Well, anyway. What does it take to build a salvage station anyway? Iron. I wish this stuff just auto dropped into my inventory. Too far. Too far away. And what we'll do is we will have this just be for cooked foods. And put that mass of books there. So that way. We'll go pay a little visit down here, and if he's not spawned into the hole, which he has not, just kind of make him regret his existence. Crap. There we go. Now, if you're dumb enough to spawn in the hole, that's not my problem. I put it up on the top floor. Okay, yes, someone is messaging your phone pretty good. I don't know if it's important to you or not. Huh. Yeah, we'll do that some other time. Oh, let's see. I get up and walk around. My tailbone's starting to hurt. go. Now. So that should make it easier to change the tracking angle. But I might have to adjust the distance. Let's see if it'll track my hands properly this time. Heck no. That just got worse. Okay. What if it's pointing this way? Oh no, that's just like atrociously bad. And what if I argue like this? And reset. Yeah, it's closer. It's not great. Okay. Oh. But I mean, okay. All right. What if I put you right there? Would that change anything? Would it change a lot? Well, I mean, kinda, sorta. zoom in a wee bit and give it the old hand test. Huh. Well, huh. Alright. Back to the game. Feed him. Oh, hang on. We got an animal stuck somewhere. Yeah, you're a little too big to slip under that door, Rambo. Come on, Booger. Out of there. Ellie, leave him alone. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta warm him up. I'll pop that burger in the microwave to thaw for a little bit. So that way you can thaw out and I don't have to worry about any of the kitty cats getting into it. Save that for tomorrow morning. Oh, Graham's back. Cool. Well, I was gonna try to drag this out for a little bit, but I think whoever set up this VTubing software had it set up for the camera to be a lot lower. And do we have company coming in? Oh, no. It looks like they are leaving. Okay. Good. Excuse me. Ellie, quiet. Ellie Mae. You know who that is, you little goofball.
I guess that was the right tab.
Yep. Just hurry up before the wrong one does. So how'd it go?
And it back BLT.
Want to finish the movie. Alright. Well, in that case, if you guys like the content, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and I will see you later in the next one. Peace out.